What's going on, guys? I know it's been a while since I've done a video, and I guess I just wanted to let you guys know what I've been doing the past month or a couple weeks. So I have been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed, and I don't know because I got a new game for it for my PS3 actually on an old system. So I played that a little bit, and I actually got this because I actually was missing one of them. And I thought that it would be good if I decided, in honor of the movie coming out, to basically give you a review of the Assassin's Creed series. This one will not be about the entire series. I will do a video about that, but this one is strictly for one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games, which was the first one. Now, first one starts off, you're Altair, and then after you get to know the controls a little bit, you wake up as Desmond. Uh, did I say that there'll be spoilers? Yeah, okay. There will be spoilers because I will talk about the story a little bit too. But I will probably make sure I don't talk about too much of it, just in case you want to go back and play it. If you have not played the first one, I recommend you do. So anyway, Assassin's Creed 1, it starts off, you wake up from the Animus. You are this character named Desmond who is held up against his will by these crazy scientist Templar dudes, and they basically want you to find this apple of Eden. Now, when it comes to the apples, and I was like okay with it, but when it came to other Eden things, I was just like, what the hell? Anyway, moving on with that. So, majority of the story probably takes place inside the Animus with Altair, and how Altair basically, how it starts off, and he messes up. He completely screws up by compromising all three tenets of the creed. And the three tenets of the creed, if you know them very well, the first one is you never harm an innocent person. The second one being hide in plain sight. The third one being never compromise the brotherhood. And I like how they always go back to those in a lot of these games. But some of them, they kind of leave it out because they kind of assume that you already know it. Basically, you already know what the point is, which is good. But sometimes I like when they do certain games and they come back to it. Recent games haven't done that. I think Unity only did it. I don't know if anybody else did. I think Rogue did. Anyway, I keep thinking about the other games. I don't know why. I gotta stay on this one. So anyway, so Altair is the name of the character, the main character inside the Animus. Yeah, like I said, he messes up because he compromises the tenets of the creed, and that costs in an attack on his village called Masyaf. And Masyaf is the home to the assassins back in 1189. I think 90s. I could be way off. I think I'm close though, close around that era. So after this happens, the mentor basically has had enough with it, and he makes him read. He makes him be an assassin. He makes him go from being a young assassin to a large assassin again. Basically, what I mean is he becomes the trainee, not the top assassin anymore. He's now the one who's learning again. He has to learn again how to be an assassin and how to do all these things. And within time and progression, he gets more and more of his equipment, more and more of his skills back. And I like that because they kind of give you everything. Like, you don't know what to do with it, but then after a few levels, they finally are like, okay, now you have none of that. Let's see how you do with nothing. And then they slowly let you rise up to the top. And that's basically what it's about. About him trying to redeem his honor. And I love Altair. Altair is one of my favorite characters in the Assassin's Creed. He is my favorite character in the Assassin's Creed series. I love how they go back to him in a lot of games sometimes. Okay, so with Desmond, Desmond learns more and more about like who the Templars are and about. So we get to basically figure out who they are through Desmond, and it helps because we kind of get thrown into the game like we have no idea what's going on, and that's kind of cool that we did have a character in real life to kind of explain like, okay, I don't know either, let's figure this out. So basically what Desmond finds out is that there is this girl scientist, obviously named Lucy, and she basically is an assassin too, like he kind of is, and his family is. And in the present, so this is in the present, so Desmond's in the present and Altair is in the past. So Desmond basically, he finds out that she is an assassin, and that's kind of the big things that we find out. Another big thing is that we find out that Desmond has eagle vision like Altair. Altair has eagle vision too. It's kind of cool. I like how he's got it like first person mode. I always thought that was kind of cool. Then they kind of took that out of it, but I will love that one, the way they had that eagle vision. Let's see. Altair, I think I love this character so much because he is the definitive hero. Like a lot of times in this game, as you try to investigate how to kill your target, you will come across people who are being harassed by the guards, and he basically tells them to go F themselves, and then they're like, what? And then they try to attack you, and they try to attack him, and then he beats them all. He just kills them all, and then the people are grateful. So then they have vigilantes help you escape after you kill your target if you're being chased, or in general if you're ever being chased, they'll grab them so that majority of them will not be able to run at you no more. And I thought that was really cool. It was like, I help you, you help me, kind of thing. But he did it because he was the right thing to do, and that's why I think a lot of games like Assassin's Creed games forget is that the assassins are supposed to be the heroes. They're not supposed to be the ones who just save the world. You don't just save the world, you gotta save everyone. You gotta, even the little ones. And that's what I think the first one really helps me. And this game is so good. I love this game so much. I love how we learn through Altair about the conspiracy within the Assassin's Creed genre, or the first game, sorry. We find, and there is just so much to talk about. I think synchronizing has always been a big thing in the Assassin's Creed stuff. You just go on a building and synchronize. Basically, you get to know what's around you, which is kind of cool. I always like that. A lot of people joke about, like, when you jump in, like, bays of hay, it's like, how are you not dead? But, I like that. It's kind of fun. There's some moments of belief, but I love the moments of disbelief in this game, too, where you just jumping into the bay of hay and people going like, how are you alive? Like, I think how it should have ended, his sheet, they basically did a video on that. I hope they actually do a video where, I hope they do another one for Assassin's Creed the movie that's coming soon. I would love that. That would be so cool to watch. Because what was kind of weird and kind of stupid was because they only did one. It was Altair. It was funny. He's like, look, he's fine. He falls in the hay, and then he just is dead. That was sad. But it was funny. It was funny. But they just joke about that disbelief. But it's funny. I like that. I think that's cool. I think it's good to have that. That's why it's called the leap of faith. You have no idea if you're going to live or die. I think in a lot of games it was broken because sometimes you jump and then like you would not leap of faith. You would just jump and then you would just land. You'd be swearing off the top of your lungs as you're falling to your death, and that's always sucked. But this game always had it under control. You never really jumped unless were moving the analog stick all around. If you were just kind of still and then you do it, then it would work perfectly. I guess I'll just finish up with the story. So the story, no, because I want to talk about combat too. So combat in this game. This was the definitive combat when it came to Assassin's Creed. Of the idea of, like, when you hit your sword with the enemies, you have to hit X again so that you can basically lower their guard and you can kill them, basically. And I thought that was kind of cool and a little tricky. It was because sword fighting, I have not sword fighted. Yes, I have. I've sword fighted before, but that was like with Star Wars. But still, it's basically that. You gotta like, it's tricky because you want to make sure that you like, when like you're attacking or when you're defending, you want to make sure that your guard's up. And when it comes to a sword, you want to keep bashing it a little bit like against them because it lowers the defenses. And if you hit them at different angles, like at different ways of where you hit them, that leaves them open for kills. And that's kind of what they want you to do. They want you to go fast, but not too fast, if that makes sense. Combat, I always loved combat. Assassinations, a lot of people complain about because the assassinations are very straightforward. You go, it's the same thing every sequence. You go, you figure out what happens to, like you figure out what your target's weaknesses are and how they operate and what drives them, stuff like that, and then like you go and assassinate them. But for me, when I do that, I learn more about what's going on with this Templar Order and what's going on and stuff, because we do get tricked. We do get a little like thing that happens, and I will say this in the video because it's been out. It's been out for years. It's already 2007. You guys already played it. You guys know what it is. If you guys have not played the first one, then get out of here. But basically, we find out that our mentor is the one who is the one who's been pulling the strings, is the one who was part of that thing to get this apple. And when he has it, he did not want to share. That's why he had Altair go and kill all of those people, because they were going to come for Masyaf and for him to get that apple back. And the mentor did not want to share. And Altair goes back to find out that he is controlling all of the assassins to fight Altair. And luckily that there are some in other districts that come to help us in this game. And so he goes, why do I forget his name? The mentor basically like uses the apple and like resurrects all of our enemies that we killed, all like 9 people. So we gotta kill all of them, and then we gotta kill the mentor. And then when we kill the mentor, we find out at the end that there are millions of other apples, millions of other artifacts out there that we did not even know until the very end of the game. And then, that's it. That's how it ends. Then after that, we find out that Desmond has eagle vision, and then it rolls credits. The one thing I think that I really did not like about the game was the fact that you basically, like, you can't skip the credits. Other than that, the game was great. I love the game. Honestly, this was the definitive game for me. I love going back and playing this game. If you guys want, I will do a Twitch video of it, because it's actually backwards compatibility for the Xbox One. I would be happy to play that game for you guys. I'm going to give this game a 9 out of 10. And I don't know if I'm going to put the number in the description because I kind of want you to know my opinions about the game because I really want to talk about these games. I'm just a little like off because I haven't done these videos. It takes me time to get back into the ringer with it, you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, 9 out of 10. It's just the credits that really bring it down for me because I can't skip them. But other than that, guys, keep rock and rolling. I will see you on my next Assassin's Creed review.